Summon the Elector Counts!
Precisely, Carl Franz, precisely. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. The Empire is one of those factions in Total War Warhammer which can be considered near enough complete. However, they are lacking in certain departments such as missing units, more so the various knightly orders, and unique units to represent each of the Imperial provinces. Those not too well versed in the lore may not know that each Imperial province do drastically differ from each other in terms of culture, units and so on. Instead, in the base game we're given baseline state troops to represent units from all over the Imperial provinces. However, this mod, Sigmar's Heirs and Empire Overhaul, drastically changes the Empire to give it a more lore-friendly approach. Nothing really changes in terms of mechanics, but it's more based on adding in units, different cults, as there are various gods worshipped within the Empire and so on. So let's just jump right in. With this mod, your campaigns will begin as normal. As stated before, there are no game-changing mechanics here. So for players used to the standard style of Empire play, you've pretty much got this sorted. For the purpose of this video, I've started up an Empire Easy campaign just to be able to show off all the new stuff as soon as possible. Instead, the changes will become obvious when you first enter the building menu. Here you'll notice not only many new custom buildings, and you'll notice many more as you begin to conquer the lands of the Empire, as you'll notice many new landmark buildings appearing, but also a bunch of new units. Those new units added through this mod in this building menu aren't even everything that you can recruit. There are units tied to specific Imperial provinces or even landmark buildings. You'll also have noticed that Altdorf itself has a slider in regards to the possible buildings you can construct within its city. There are absolutely loads of different options, and in truth, not every settlement has this type of flexibility, but it's interesting to see all the different types of ways that you can construct a settlement. This way, you can tailor your playstyle exactly the way that you like it. One big feature of this mod, which is what got me interested into it in the first place, is the addition of many new religious buildings. Unfortunately, the Empire are represented in Total War as if Sigmar is the only god, but this adds in some other buildings to give in some different flavor. You can get some temples dedicated to Mor, Tal, Ulrich and other gods, which, yeah, it might not be too big, but it's something for all the lore fans. It may look a tad overwhelming to see all these new units and buildings, but believe me, I've playtested this mod for a decent amount of hours. You kinda get into the swing of things quite quickly. There's no need to panic. Now, in an effort to show you guys what you want to see, and I'll highlight anything of interest that may pop up. You'll notice when you have a construction slot open that many new options present themselves. This is a way for the mod to just separate all the different types of buildings in a much easier way to understand. It helps out drastically considering that the mod adds in, I want to say on average, 30 new buildings? These building types are resource, military recruitment, knightly orders, military support, defense, infrastructure, religion, and vanilla buildings. So the vanilla buildings are just the average type of state troops, just not tied to any specific location. Another thing to note, which is quite minor, is all the Imperial provinces have been renamed to have a more lore-friendly name. The Grand County of Wissenland, the League of Ostermark, and so on. I get this isn't the most exciting change, but for lore reasons, I kinda like it. Depending what special cities you own, you'll also get access to other minor races too. Controlling Marienburg will give you access to a building which will allow you to recruit high elf units. Not a lot of units, but enough to actually fill out a force. The same could be said for Altdorf, where a minor building there will allow you to recruit Imperial dwarfs. This is actually quite lore-friendly. We know of elves hanging out in Marienburg, and we know that the good relations between the dwarfs and the humans allow for dwarf guildsmen to work in Altdorf. This is where we also see that if you control towns from different provinces, you will get access to different buildings, which will allow you to, for example, in Marienburg, recruit Marienburg state troops. They'll have their own unique colorings and their own unique patterns. So for example, if you recruit a general in Stirland and would like him to have Stirland troops, just recruit the troops from there and you'll have them in Stirland colors. And if you recruit units in Ostland through the Ostland special buildings, you'll have them in those provincial colors. All the different religious buildings more or less have the same functionality. The only difference between them is that they'll recruit different units. And it is important to note that every knightly order more or less acts in a different way. You'll also notice that the basic knights will also have been renamed to freelance knights, as they don't really count as knightly orders anymore. When controlling areas in Sylvania, you'll also get access to the Knights Raven. These are, as far as I've seen, specific to this location, and fight in a very similar way to Hexraves. So just to show off the different colorings of units, these are different Empire State troops, all recruited throughout their respective provinces. Their stats don't change whatsoever, but it's lore friendly. I know a lot of people did want this, I've seen requests on the forums, Reddit and so on, so a mod like this is absolutely perfect. Please bear in mind, I did encounter one strange issue. When I recruit state troopers from different locations, I can't seem to put them all into one army. I'm not sure if that's intended or so on. I recruited generals from different locations and they weren't able to trade units. These units also do not seem to appear in global recruitment, but then again, this mod is still in beta form, so that might be the reason. Just to show off all the different types of units available in this mod, I'm showing off a custom battle screen just to show off the actual units. Not in game, but by sheer quantity of them. Please bear in mind that this is only showing for Reichland, so any units specifically tied to other provinces, that of state troops, are not going to be available in the custom battles. By that account, I'd say we easily have close to, 150, maybe even 200 possible units? A lot of them do have the same stats, but then again, state troops will have the same stats as other state troops. Yes, it's a lot of reskins, but it makes sense for state troops. However, the mod also adds in a lot of unique units. I believe almost all, if not all, the knightly orders established in the lore of the Empire have been added. Some Talian knightly orders, such as the Knights in Carmine, have been added too, and they've also added in a lot of religious troops for each of the gods worshipped within the Empire. You are absolutely spoiled for choice with this mod. I haven't even gone through all of them in this video just to make sure that the video doesn't drag on more than it has to, but as you can see there is a large amount of variety which should be able to fit over every single different type of playstyle. And lastly, I wanted to show off what I believe is the coolest part of this mod, some of the knightly orders. They're extremely unique, visually distinct, and have their own separate playstyles. Yes, I know this isn't a main feature for the mod, but then again, I'm a big fan of the knightly orders, and it was nice to just see all the different types being implemented into the game. But whilst we're also panning through them, I'm going to give my final thoughts on the mod. I played this mod for a total of 7 hours. 6 hours of those were through my own campaign on hard mode, with hard battles. And honestly, it felt nice to have elements of choice to be able to tailor my armies in different ways. I like to play my campaigns in a very lore-friendly type of sense, no doom stacking, so it was kinda nice to have state troops from different locations. The element of choice made it a really fun, lore-friendly experience, and that's really what I go for through my campaigns. It's still in beta mode, so there are some bugs here and there, but honestly, it's very playable. The mod author has highlighted that he wants to add in more lords and heroes and so on, so we can expect this as time progresses. But its current state is extremely stable and I do highly recommend it. The link to the mod is in the description below, and there is also a sub-mod for SFO for those fans of that series. For you Empire fans out there, I suggest that you keep your eyes on this mod. Even though it's already extremely stable, I imagine that it's going to have a lot more potential, and I'm excited to see the development of this mod. But with that, my friends, we come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various different social media links such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord, where you can get in contact with the Great Book team. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games, where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Using our special link and also our special code, both of which can be found in our description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A special thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Pence and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Hewell and VS Vasan for subscribing to us at our Fane level. Honestly, I can't thank you guys enough for the support. It really means a lot to me, especially since all the money earned from Patreon goes directly back onto the channel. New webcam, equipment, microphones, and so on. And a big thank you to all of you liking, sharing, commenting on these videos. Honestly, I'm really enjoying creating this content and chatting to all of you guys about speculation, new content, and so on. It's absolutely awesome. It's been nice to make a few friends along the way. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and I shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.